Hello everyone and welcome back on School Dev. In this tutorial, I will simply show you how to check if your Unity game is connected to the internet. Let's get right into it. Okay, here we have a simple scene with a canvas, some text, our channel logo and a button that we will use to go to our main scene. So here, imagine that there's a game. Okay, so let's go on our menu and basically what we are going to do is when the user clicks on our play button, the app checks if it's connected to the internet. If it's not connected, then an error message will show up, and if the user is connected, then we will load our main scene. Okay, let's start by creating a new script. I will call it Network Manager. New script and create and add. Okay, it's created and I'm gonna drag it in scripts. And as I said, we have to show an error message if it's not connected to the internet. So let's create that simple error message. New text, I will call it error text, and it will show up no connection. I'm gonna put it in red, center it up, and then finally drag it down under our play button. And of course, when we go into our menu scene, we don't want this error message to show up by default. So we are going to disable it. Okay, now let's open up our script in Visual Studio. Okay, here it is. So you can get rid of the start and update methods because we won't use them. And so here, what is going to happen is we are going to create a simple method that will be called every time we click on our play button. So let's create that method. I will call it play. So to check if our app is connected to the internet, we are going to perform a web request. To perform a web request in Unity, we have to create an enumerator and start a coroutine. If you want to know more about coroutines, I will link a video about it and you can check it out in the description. Okay, so let's create first an enumerator called verify internet connection. And here we are going to perform our web request. To perform a web request, we have to use Unity engine.networking. Here we are going to create our web request. You can do that by creating a Unity web request variable, and we'll call it www, and it equals to new Unity web request. And here in the brackets you have to add the website that you will use to request. So I'm going to use Google because I think it's the most reliable, but it really can be anything you'd like. So I put in google.com, and in our play, I forgot to add, in our play method we have to start our coroutine. So let's type in start coroutine, and let's put in that method verify internet connection. So now normally it will perfectly work. So we have of course we need to execute the web request. We do that by using our www variable dot and send web request. So this will execute our web request. And to confirm our web request, we have to type in yield return this. Once again, this is about IEnumerator and coroutines, and if you don't know about this, go check out a tutorial. But basically what this does is that it doesn't execute the rest of the code instantly, because otherwise there would be an error when sending a web request. And so we wait for the request to send back a response, and then we do something here. Okay, so here of course when the web request is done, we have to check if the web request sent back an error or not. So to do that we simply say if www is network error, and this will return true if there was an error. So here no connection, there will be no connection, else connection. In the else it means that there was a connection detected. So what we want to do is to show this error message. So we have to create a public game object variable called error text. And what we are going to do is activate that error text game object. So we use that variable and set active to true. And if there's connection, we simply are going to load our next scene, which is the main scene. So I'm going to use, of course, the Unity engine dot scene management to load our next scene. So we simply say scene manager dot load scene main. So once this is done, you have to make sure that your error text game object is put in our script. Once that is done, we have of course to add our play function here to our button. So let's do this right now. So on click, we drag in our canvas object and select network manager and our play method. So once everything is set up, let's try it out. So let's hit play and click on our play button. Here I'm connected to the internet, so everything works. Now let's try it again, but I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi. There you go. And now let's hit play once again and hit on the play button. And here you have the no connection message that shows up. And while my game is still on, I turn my Wi-Fi on once again and hit play, and here we have our game scene. Thank you for following this tutorial. I hope it was helpful for you. If yes, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you guys very soon. Bye!